At the risk of sounding arrogant and egotistical and all of those other things, tell you a little bit about Brian K. Pusillo and myself and our relationship. In every way, Brian K. Pusillo was Clam Digger. He was Pearly Stone. He was my best friend. He was my sidekick. He was my pal. You know, all the things, my brother, everything that goes with the relationships of two guys. We were friends. We met working at McDonald's, like I said in the first episode of this. And we developed that relationship over the years, right up until Brian died. And when Brian passed away, it killed me. It broke my heart, and it was shattered in so many pieces that the last thing I wanted to do was work on Lobsterman, Maine's first superheroes. The years have passed, several years now, and there's still an interest. We still have fans. We still have people contacting us, some wanting to replace their worn out copies, some people wanting to buy for the first time. And really, to me, that's a great tribute to Brian and his great writing. His sense of humor kept me going. He fueled me. He pumped me up. We were just, great together. Or at least, from my perspective. And I know Brian loved me. I know that we were, the best of friends. He had other friends, of course. He had other, interests and things. But, you know, we really were Lobsterman and Clam Digger. There were things that we did, just crazy shit. And it really hurt when Brian passed away. It crushed me. So I put Lobsterman on hold. Since that time, I've discovered that, Lobsterman #1, if you, talk to Comic Buyer's Guide and people like that, it's Lobsterman #1 in pristine condition is valued at $5. Cover price originally was $2.50. So it's doubled. And I heard from another person, an auctioneer, that out in the Burnham auction, a set, all 10 Lobsterman, sold for $75. So, the price varies, but it's, according to the condition, it's highly collectible. And that again is, a tribute, to Brian's creativity. Our fun together turned out to be, value to other people in other ways. But in, talking about how Brian and I are actually literally Lobsterman and Clam Digger. Well, we're not superheroes. We never did anything heroic like that, but it became quite clear, to most of the people that read the comic and met both Brian and I, either at signings or whatever, they saw the correlation. We were the models for the cover, and we became the characters to many fans. And the great fun that we had doing the comic, I think that I owe it to Brian to resurrect Lobsterman, but I'm not sure how to do that. Do we have just Lobsterman, Maine's first superhero, or do we do Lobsterman, Maine's first superheroes with a lot of reflections and a lot of homage issues going to Clam Digger, the deceased Clam Digger? And I've also thought about doing Lobsterman the movie, and gotten to the point where created a screenplay, but I'm going to, revisit that idea when I get out of the Philippines and get back home to Maine. But I think I would actually begin something like you have Charlie Kimball in Maine State Prison behind bars, locked up. And as the episode evolves or the scene evolves, you have, a priest coming in to visit Charlie, and they talk a little bit about why he's in prison. And I think the story is going to evolve to Enrique Calamari murdered Clam Digger and framed Charlie Kimball for it. And yeah, I think that that's the way that it's going to go, is that Clam Digger is dead. Charlie Kimball is framed, and we'll go from there. And then I got thinking, who in the heck could I get to actually be Lobsterman as Lobsterman appears in the comics? Dwayne Johnson.